down to the jurors deciding when this crime began. Did the crime begin, as the prosecution contends, when George Zimmerman first began profiling, as the prosecutor says, Trayvon Martin? Or did it begin when the fight actually started, as the defense contends? And we'll start with Janet Johnson.
Well, you know, it's a reasonable doubt. The defense is going to hammer this home. They're going to have that reenactment. And if the jury says, you know, I think it was before, and they split on whether it's before or after, that is reasonable doubt. And that's what's going to, I think, determine this. If they say, look, we can't decide, but we know that he got punched, there's blood on his face.
Frank Taft.
Jane, this goes back to the original the state's 172, where he made a call where the prowler or the burglar was looking in my house, and he was apprehended 3 days after February 2nd, 3 weeks prior to the shooting. His name was Emmanuel Burgess. He was apprehended due to George's efforts. Now, let me ask you, let me go back to something here real quick. When he first sees Trayvon, he's in the same exact spot up in my house, exactly where Emmanuel Burgess was. So on his way out to Target that night, you know, he wasn't on patrol, he wasn't on watch, he was merely going out to get some groceries, as he stated many times in his testimony. But, you know, it's like deja vu all over again. He sees Trayvon up in my house, looking in my windows. So if anybody's going to act suspicious, and he knows, excuse me.
No, there is absolutely no evidence, Frank Taffy, that, excuse me, I've got to stop you right there, because we don't want any sorts of misinformation.
No, it's in the it's in the police It's in the video. Review the video.
Okay,
ridiculous.
Look, Kelly Sandin. There, first of all, I want to say this flat out. There is absolutely no evidence. The defense agrees on this, that Trayvon Martin was doing anything but coming home with Skittles and a soft drink. End of story. Take it away, Kelly Sandin.
The prosecution nailed it by saying that he was profiling, that Zimmerman was checking out Trayvon. His story doesn't jive, that he said Trayvon walked around his car and looked in. He was so scared. He was fearful. Remember, he forgot he had his gun. He got out of his car from somebody he's scared of. It doesn't make sense. The prosecution did the right thing by saying that Zimmerman necessarily didn't go with the intent to kill Trayvon, but he profiled him, he followed him, his story doesn't match up, the evidence doesn't match, his injuries are inconsistent with his version of events, and Trayvon is dead.
Quick rebuttal from Wendy Murphy.
Well, look, I think he did profile him, and I think the jury will forgive him for that because of the history of robberies and break-ins in that neighborhood. The jury's not going to worry too much about that. They're going to be instructed that no matter who made the first offensive move, whether it was Zimmerman moving toward Trayvon saying, what are you doing here, moving toward him, the bottom line is they're going to be instructed that the whole mess of legal questions about who started it goes away when the head starts to be slammed against cement, because that's when you can shoot with lethal force. End of discussion. That's why
as long as it's not illegal.
All right.
As long as it's not illegal.
We're going to continue this debate on the other side.